Automobiles aren't the only machines contributing to poor air quality. Smaller gasoline-powered engines that drive our lawnmowers and other lawn equipment are also a significant source. A lush, rolling lawn may have once been part of the American dream, but with millions of lawnmowers operating on a daily basis, these small engines have become big polluters. It's time we rethink how we use our outdoor space. With a little creativity, we can improve air quality and save time and money in the process.
There are certain things we can do that have a big drain on the environment. Lawns require a lot of water, they require a lot of fertilizer, they require a lot of mowing, which is fossil fuels being burnt. Having some lawn is good, but having acres of it, not necessary. A very large manicured lawn is practically a desert. So we have been encouraging people to reduce the amount of lawn they have and substitute in landscaping in various forms. Many people will put in large flower beds, either cultivated varieties for very nice formal gardens, wildflowers and perennials, which have a wilder look to them, but they will take up the space, they'll bring interest year-round to the landscape. They are lower maintenance than a lawn. I don't want to say they're low maintenance or no maintenance, but they're lower maintenance than taking care of a lawn. Other people will go with trees.
The obvious benefits of having trees is the shade that they provide, as well as many of the other benefits such as cleaning our air. So not only do trees intercept particulates from the atmosphere, and not only do they take up carbon emissions from the atmosphere through the different processes, but they can also reduce CO2 emissions from the power plants by lowering the needs from the use of air conditioners during the summertime or the use of furnaces during the winter if trees are planted in the right place. We have to match the tree with the site. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just take any tree and plant it anywhere on their property that they like without looking at the surroundings, without looking for power lines, without knowing what's underground. If we want to maximize the benefits that we get from trees, we have to match the tree with the site to get those benefits and to maximize those benefits.
Indiana used to be something like 86% covered with forest at one point or another before the pioneers came through. Now that percentage is much, much lower.
Trees really can increase our air quality to a huge degree, especially when we have a huge abundance of trees throughout our community. We need to have a minimum amount of canopy cover throughout our community to provide the benefits that they can provide to clean our air, to improve our air quality throughout the entire community, as well as the region and even the world.
There's very little of the native old-growth forest left. There are some isolated pockets where we are trying to bring back native plants, native grasses, native forbs. This property here at Oakland Library in Evansville is an example of what this could have looked like back about 200 years ago. A true prairie is not this widespread, brilliant burst of color like you see in the catalogs. They're just trying to sell you the plants in the catalogs. But there's a mixture of all sorts of plants, and this is a community of plants. The thing about a prairie, or even wildflowers in general, you want to have a little bit of room for that. You don't need acres, but you certainly are not going to be able to do this and have it look good in a postage stamp size yard. You can put in plants that are native to this area, especially our perennials and some of our wildflowers. They grow so shaggy and wild looking, a few holes here and there aren't noticed. So you're not as worried about having everything manicured and perfect. So that's going to cut down on your labor, and it's better for the environment.
You see all these landscape shows on cable TV and home improvement shows where they're always taking properties and they're completely clear-cutting all the vegetation and starting over. But what we really need to be doing is looking at the existing vegetation and utilizing that where feasible to reap the benefits from that vegetation instead of paying a high dollar to take all that out and start all over again.
Well, the more power we use for our tools, whether gasoline engines or even electric tools, we are using more energy, and that is putting more pollution into the air. People look at this and they say, well, it's just one little lawnmower. How much pollution can I be doing? But you got to multiply that by the millions and millions of homeowners throughout the country who all have their own little quarter acre of heaven that they have to mow and take care of each week. So it adds up. And just like the saying says, no snowflake thinks it's responsible for the avalanche, but we are all responsible for what is going on in our backyards and in our planets.
We say think globally, act locally, and that's what we can do by planting a tree in our property, in our lawns, or at work, or at school, or wherever we are. We plant trees to maximize the canopy, to maximize the air quality benefits that they can provide.
Each and every one of us is adding another snowflake to the upcoming avalanche of air pollution. And we all need to do our part to reduce our impact on our tri-state environment.